Welcome back to the London Christmas Tournament Expert Division opening round, hole number 5. Here we're going to play this APOC 5 plus, Sniper 9 plus, setting up for a sniper bounce up shot using a Kingslayer or a Kingmaker. The adjustment for the drive is P3 plus 10% max, using 3 top spin, 3 right spin. We're going to use right curl so that the left side of the ball is touching the outside of the shot circle. No overpower. 3 top spin, 3 right spin. APOC 5 and 6, you'll have 2/3 of the blue ring in the right rough at P3 max rest. APOC 7 is 1/3 of the blue ring, and an APOC 8 is blue ring touching. And that's all at P3 max rest. Again, P3 10 max. Make sure you're trying to pull this one as straight as possible. There are some different wind angles here. You can catch some different rollouts because of it. If you got a higher wind that looks like a little bit more of a tailwind, you might want to give yourself a couple of clicks of underpower. So, this is what I'm looking at. Basically, when I'm setting this shot up, because I don't have curl lines on my grids, what I'm doing is kind of eyeballing the center of the ball and then trying to line that up on that tip right there of the shot circle as close as I can, right? So or if you're using the same ball when you go into practice and you have references, like this starfish ball, it's the same as a Kingmaker. It's got some little lines here. You can use those for a reference, right? If you're using a Kingslayer, my reference is there's a little crown on the side, the left-hand side of the ball. That point is just above that. There's also another line, kind of splits the top of the crown and that other line. But just get yourself a reference so you can try to keep this drive as close to around 360, 359 as possible. The adjustment for the approach is P3 plus 45% elevation at slider. We're using 1 backspin, 0.5 right spin. No curl, no underpower, unless you pull, more than 2+ yards above or below where you start. So if you start at the +4 and you pull down to the +2, I would give that 1 click of underpower. So for every 2 yards you pull down, 1 click of underpower. For every 2 yards you pull above your starting position, I would add 1 click of overpower. Be sure that you don't give it too much underpower or overpower, because it can cause you to miss either just short or just long and left. So be careful. Also, for this one, I would recommend, if you're playing this with a Kingmaker and you have a really high wind, anything 8.5 or above, and you're set up at the +5 or higher, I would add 0.2 to your adjustment. You're obviously, you're further into your club, plus the higher wind, you're going to get a little bit more wind push. So, that ought to help you come in a little bit better in the higher winds on the shorter rollouts on your drive. But here I consider this to be 3+ yards or so, almost 4+ yards below, and you're gonna see I'm just I did 2 clicks of underpower there, and I just barely came into the front of the cup. I mean, it was a decent speed, but any more underpower, and I probably leave that one short. So just be careful when you get your set spins, 1 back, 0.5 right. You want the tip of the ball guide just going into the front of the cup. You don't want it to be just touching the front of the cup, but you don't want it to be through the back of the cup either. You want it to be about touching the flag stick, right? I know it's hard to see, but basically just make sure that you're creeping into the front of the cup, but not by a whole lot. So over here on the left hand side or the right hand side, I stayed at the +4. So I'm not going to play this with any underpower or overpower. It's just a straight shot, no curl. P3 +45 at slider. You want to favor a slight 1159 on this pull. And you see that one comes in very nicely at a good speed, center cup. Really good opportunity here. Free to play, Albatross, hole number 5. Practice it a couple of times. So the P3 plus yards for the sniper. 0 is 70, 1 is 72, 2 is 75, +3 is 77, +4 is 80, 5 is 82, 6 is 85, 7 is 87 slider, 8 is 90, 9 is 92, +10 is 95, 11 is 97, and +12 is 100. If you're 1 ring short is 67, 2 rings short is 65, 3 rings short is 63, and 4 rings short is 60% slider. That ought to take care of you for pretty much any rollout, unless you get something crazy happen. Just don't forget high wins, high plus yards. Add 0.2 to your adjustment, and you should be good to go. Make sure you're adding 1 click of underpower, overpower for every 2+ yards you pull above or below your starting position. Good luck. I hope you all get the drop, and we'll catch you on the next one.